Hi, my name is TJ Costello from Hierarchy Architects. We're located in Manhasset, New York.
My name is Brian Winters from Human Lab Architecture.
My name is Rick Fulmer.
2112 Architecture.
Hi, Daniel from Ultima Engineering.
Steve Schill. I am the founder of Schill Architecture in Westlake, Ohio.
I'm Dan Keating, owner and principal architect of Keating Architects and Interiors.
My name is Alex Schwartz with ABS Engineering.
My name is Michael Cook.
Local architect practicing in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
My name is Stuart Grinnell, architect with S2GA.
Architects prefer it and owners also because of the aesthetics. There's no visual impact, there's no equipment that you see, there's no hot air blowing on you. It gives a nice consistent temperature throughout the space with heat delivered at the lowest level of the building or at the floor level so that it can radiate up rather than a lot of times when you have forced air heating, it's coming from above and the air is getting blown down, so you get stratification that way and you don't get the heat where you want it. So it's lots of reasons why I think it's a better system.
It's a very troubling scenario to put conventional heating in our homes because the posts and beams cannot be drilled or cut through. And so what happens is on paper everything looks beautiful, and when we show up to the build site and the forced air system is going in, there's trunk work not where we would like to see it. And so as I have shared this with some of our prospects, they have bought into this was a better system.
Conventionally, we couldn't just put a furnace air handler in here because where does all the ductwork go?
No air blowing at your face. There's no diffusers on the ceiling, on the walls.
We used to do this using old-fashioned gypcrete, concrete with tubes. It's very messy, it's very heavy, and about a year or a year and a half ago, we discovered Warmboard, and we used it on some projects, and we've had a great success with it.
It allows us to install radiant in the old part of the home as well as in any addition, where sometimes if we're looking at something like a gypcrete overpour, we can't handle the weight in the old part of the home. So that remodel product is really essential, and like I said, it can go right down over top of whatever you've got.
What's really nice about the Warmboard system, if we have a concrete slab, we're only adding a 3/4 inch subfloor thickness, so it doesn't really add a lot of thickness to the floor.
This was like an aluminum kit that used to go on the bottom of plywood flooring, and it was really just kind of the only thing available at the time, really old school, until this came along and really modernized and was a game changer.
Right here, one of our vendors that only made the sign because we love them so much.
And I was just fascinated of how I could take an old home and modernize it. It had ductwork previously, and get the comfort that I was looking for. And I had been, as a homeowner, accustomed to radiant heat in most of our homes, but this just proved to be, the best ever. And what it really intrigued me was using the 1 1/8" panels to help stabilize a bunch of old floors that were not level, and it allowed me to help true up all the floors in the home.
It's super clean. You don't get the buildup of mites and dirts over the summer months. So then when you commission your system, you don't get all this debris flying out in your house.
In this climate, the allergy effect is also really good.
I think that the efficiency, first and foremost, is a lot better with a radiant heating system than a forced air system, because you're going to be able to run it off of a boiler, and it's a low temperature heating system, so that allows the boilers to get a good return water temperature, and they can operate at their most efficient point when they do the highest amount of condensing.
Always the best heat, in my opinion, just because if your feet are warm, you're warm, and the indoor air temperature can be at a lower setting because it doesn't need to be 80 degrees in the at your forehead.
Well, it's very easy to deal with Warmboard. Like, we send over the drawings and then the whole layout's done, and there's a big takeoff done, and we know that we're dealing with people who've been doing this for a long time, because that's a department that takes that on and produces that all for us.
I look at plans all the time, and easy for me to understand and to talk through with your engineers about what I wanted changed and where I wanted tubing moved based on things I wanted.
We liked the technical support, and we liked it so it was a little bit more of a collaboration between our team and Warmboard's specifiers.
Just a neat system. It's all completely uniformly pre-planned. We get shop drawings ahead of time, so everything just looks really well thought out. And you just can tell from the beginning when you're walking through that this is it's like a well-oiled engine of a Mercedes.
It's a really, really cool product, really unique. We can take it for renovations, for additions. Definitely recommend it. It's a lot less of a headache than traditional floor heating.
Well, I like Warmboard, get excellent customer service. And then also, it's a engineered product. A lot of times where a lot of these benefits I think you could get with any type of radiant floor heating system. But then you're kind of at the whim of the contractor if they're installing tubing that's tied to a wire mesh or some other type of system that you can't predict as well during the design phase. So I like the fact that with Warmboard, we know exactly what we're getting. We get all these engineered plans. They show you tubing lengths, and we can calculate pressure drops, and it helps us size our system better. And then I also just think as a product in general, it's better, having the metal plate that's on the top of the Warmboard that helps distribute the heat more evenly. We've had projects where we've gone back in with a thermal gun and we looked at the radiant that's done with Warmboard and that's done with other products. You can kind of see with other tubing methods, you can see hot spots, and then with the Warmboard, it's a little more evened out. So I think that temperature gradient is a little bit less and it's kind of more consistent. And so from an engineering side, I like that because I can predict exactly what we're going to get, and we know exactly what it's going to be, and you're not just waiting to see what happens in the field with some contractor that you don't necessarily know at that design phase.
This is our system, our full comfort system. We have two types of Warmboard, and what Warmboard is, it is a twofer. You get your structural diaphragm here at your 1 1/8 plywood with the aluminum topper and your PEX tubing.
What I really liked about it was that the aluminum is preformed right into the groove, so the heat dissipates very uniformly, and it gave it great uniform heat.
So at that point, we're already under construction. It's already engineered. It's already permitted. Do we go back and add 1.5 inches of gypcrete, adding this load, changing beam sizes and whatnot? And then we said, no, how about we use this Warmboard? So we used the panels. As a matter of fact, they've just gone in within the last week or two out of this job site. They look great.
The initial inquiry through the delivery on site was, again, painless. I mean, and you can't say that too often about a lot of things.
Some old construction, some new construction, so we're able to use the structural product as well as the remodel product on the same job, which gives us a lot of flexibility to use Warmboard to its fullest extent.
That's what the builders have told me. I like this. It's like putting Lego together.
Well, I was attracted to the comfort system because I'm building my own house for myself as a contractor and architect. And I wanted it to be easier to install for a plumber and work that I could do also. And I'm on propane, so I was concerned about efficiency.
What we like about Warmboard is that it's extremely reactive, especially in Southern Ontario. We can have winter days where it's blue skies and +5, and then in a 12-hour span it can drop to -20. And that's where Warmboard really shines because it responds really quickly.
Everything from the beginning when the carpenters started laying down the panels, I thought because they had never done it before, I was going to be getting 1,000 questions. They asked me what it was. I spent an hour with them on the site, and I never heard from them again about that.
I talked to the installing contractor and the general contractor, and they really like the product and they really like the assistance, and then we had no problems controlling it.
Because it's easy. I judge, as a builder, I judge how many calls I get from the trades in the field, And in my recent application, I didn't get any. So in addition to the quality of the product, if people don't have to call me 100 times to ask me how to do it, that impresses me.
If the homeowners are happy and general contractor's happy and it all goes smooth, I'm happy. I don't get a bunch of nuisance phone calls.
You know, support from all the various team members. You know, it makes it a little easier for me to sort of recommend stuff to clients, because there's a lot of stuff out there, but it's like you want something that's not going to get a phone call on. So
Many of our homes have 6 and 7 and 8 zones that let every area of the home be as comfort requirements are asked for as you could expect. So it's just a wonderful payout for our clients.
They like the touch screen control, that they're people that just like simplicity and ease, and after about a 10-minute tutorial, they're experts.
It's the ease of operation for the end client. Even though there's lots of thermostats, or there's a potential for lots of thermostats, it's all kind of a unified system. So it makes it really easy for clients to understand and control their indoor climate.
You know, the comment that I hear the most is, oh my gosh, to get up in the morning and feel my feet nice and comfort. And so I now tell people, you heat your feet, not your head. And I love telling these stories. And it's so fun to hear them express their joy with experiencing something that they didn't understand the importance of it in the design work.
Super amazing product, especially for these cabins and these A-frames up in Park City.
At the end of the day, when I see the smile on the owner's face when they're super happy with their system and they know their bills, that's gold, right?
I love selling Warmboard to my clients.
It's been a great fit to the point where we're now anticipating we have another project on the boards, and we're just planning. We're going to use this Warmboard R product. I really like it, and I recommend it.
We are now currently working on another mid-century modern renovation, and for that project, we're specifying Warmboard.
We love it and hope you would too.
everything's just super solid, quiet, not, it's just such a quiet system. So there's just nothing better than in-floor heat.
The best thing of all is our clients love it. And that's really what it gets down to.